After UH person is implemented, we can start working on the faculty and student classes. Looking at these two, they're actually nearly identical, except a few of the names are changed. So I'll just start with faculty first and then go on to student. So since this is a lot of code to write, I want to have a way to test it while I write it. And if I'm implementing faculty first, then I kind of want to ignore the student stuff. So inside this UH people program class that does the testing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out all the student code so that I can just work with the faculty stuff first, test it, and then once I know that faculty is working, then I can move on to student. So here's the faculty class. They're these bolded, or I guess it's not bold, these underlined terms are supposed to be static variables and methods. But let's just get started with the attributes first. So this first one is a faculty list. It's an array list, holds faculty objects, and it's supposed to be static. So since I'm using an array list, I have to import array list. I think it's like this, array list. Okay. So again, this is a private, but it's a static variable now. What is this variable called? Faculty list. New array list. Faculty. And so I want to initialize it here because it's a static variable, and then it's just easier to do it now rather than in a constructor. So I'll initialize it here. Then we need a string rank and a string office hours. Okay. And then we have a constructor. Oh, before I forget, since we want to inherit from the UH people program, you need to add something right here to the class declaration to make sure we inherit those features, and that's with the extends. UH people, not UH people program, UH person. And I just want to make sure this compiles. So first I compile the UH person, and then I compile faculty. Cannot find symbol. What did I? Oh, here. It's UH person. And there it compiles, so it looks like we're all good. And then we have the constructor, where it takes in a string, int, and a string. And let me see what this is supposed to do. Constructors here. The constructor for a faculty object should take in the faculty member's name, ID number, and rank as arguments, and then set them. Okay. So we'll just set up the constructor. And it takes in string, int, and a string. ID. So say name, ID, and then rank. And then we want to set these. So name and ID belong to the UH people program class, and they're private, so we don't have access to them. But we inherit the getters and setters, so we can just use those. So set name like so. Set ID ID. Then we need to set the rank. Keys of this pointer. And then we also have to add this object that we're constructing to this faculty list. And you have to use the this pointer for that too. Oh my goodness. So this was the trick for adding the object you're constructing to the static faculty list. And again, let's compile to make sure this works. Looks like we're all good. So this is the constructor. At this point, I think we should be able to do some of this. Set office hours. Okay. Let's just write some more code for now. Okay. What's next? Okay. And now we have to implement some of these methods. So these are static methods. I think we'll come back to those. Set office hours, get office hours, and get rank. So I'll do this getter first. String. Rank. Okay. And then I want to do the get office hours. And then I want to set the office hours. Let's take some string. And those are our getters and setters. So I want to see if I can run this program. Let's see. So I'm going to comment out get roster. Wait, can I test this? Set office hours. Get roster. I guess I'll just implement everything actually. So we need to do the get faculty and get roster, and these are both static. Get faculty takes in an int and returns a faculty. Get int ID. So get faculty works by it's taking in an ID and then I have to return a faculty with the matching ID from this array list. So I just need to write a for loop to iterate through the array list. I'm going to use an enhanced for loop. For faculty F. For faculty F in faculty list, if f.get ID equals ID. Then I simply return the ID, or return the faculty member. And then if it's not found, this for loop will iterate completely. So I need something to return, and I'll just return null, which will never happen in this example. And I want to compile again. Okay. So there's get faculty, where I just return the faculty member with the matching ID. And then I need get roster that just returns the faculty list. Let's see. Can I just copy this? I cannot. So I just return the faculty list. And I simply return the faculty list. So let's make sure this works. And it looks correct. Print out the first one. Then my IDs look correct. I have all the office hours, names, and then ranks. Okay. And that's how you do faculty. The important thing to note was that you have to use the this pointer to add it to the list. I saw in some assignments people were creating a new faculty member inside here and then setting the name and ID and rank of that and then adding that element to this, which is not correct, because in that case you're actually creating two. One that you add to this list and then one that you return from the constructor. So you have to use the this pointer to add the current element, the current object that you're constructing to the faculty list.